Okay, everybody, looks like I'm ready to set up here. As I said to you the Thursday night, I was going to chunk those 3-hour sessions to about an hour and a half in class, and then chunk out about another hour or so with a screencast. So here we are. Now, I want to get us started again, just to kind of know what's going on and navigating around. Of course, these modules, okay, you can see they're by week, okay, and that's not much different in Moodle when you see I had week 0, week 1. So if you want to see everything that was going on week 0, there it is, okay, the course intro, and you remember we did Guardian Payroll, which was case 3, and I showed you that, and I said, of course, you need to upload that, okay, and then one of the things we did is we did some navigating here in Moodle. Now, the usual issue for everybody is, okay, what's due? And you can click on a couple of places. Here is the syllabus, and that participation thing is that's an old thing, but don't worry about it. But we start down here in August 31st. You had the financial ratios quiz. I talked with you about that and told you it's out of case 4 in the Solve It textbook. And then you have XLS1 and XLS2 to upload, okay? And again, those are due by 6 p.m. Now, XLS1 is whistle cleaners, okay? And it's over on page 25. And then case 2 is Athena Beauty Products. Right? If I'm not mistaken, I have loaded the files over there. So I'm going to go back into the modules, go into the files for a minute, and I'm going to look for whistle cleaners, and then I'll make it. Here's Athena Beauty Products. Okay, it's published. This one, Athena Beauty, is the one that you should upload for case number 2, okay? This is Athena Beauty Products. You should upload this for case number 2, okay? And we'll take a look at it in just a minute. And then we have whistle cleaners, okay? If I could go back down here and I'll find it. I might have even called it XLS2. Here's whistle cleaners. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, these are the skeleton files. No, these are the solutions. And I'm going to download it so we can see this is whistle cleaners. And basically, this is, if you look over, and we'll start with this one, but this one, whistle cleaners, and then Athena Beauty A, whistle cleaners A, those are what you upload for XLS1 and XLS2. Now, if you choose, even after seeing this, to try and do the case and upload it, I'm okay with that you tried it. But I want you to see, absolutely the best way, but I do want you to see how it really ought to look. And sometimes I'll even do some embellishments to it. So whistle cleaners, this is whistle cleaners A. This has an answer in it, and this really should be whistle cleaners A, not Q. Well, let's go ahead and take a look in the textbook, and this is over in the Solve It textbook, okay? And that's case number 1. It's over in whistle cleaners starts on page 25. And look, every one of these cases really starts you out with, and here's how they're put together. They tell you some information about the company, okay? And then they'll tell you about the business problem that company's facing. And then, and I'm looking now over off page 26 and 27, you'll get a set of tasks that you're asked to do, all right? This case is really about formatting, creating columns, and just doing some basic navigating and that type of thing, okay? And they give you a skeleton file, and they want you to create some new columns and so forth with with the email address and the telephone, the date called, and a follow-up, and did they or not, okay? And so that's just, they should be sure that, for example, on number 3, there's the bottom page 26, they see, be sure to format the cells containing the dates to display the name of the month, okay? Well, let's look at that. I'm going to click right here in cell F11, and I have Whistle Cleaners A. This is the one you'll upload. And notice that it is the number format is for a date, okay? And you can choose it to be as a date, and they give you some more number formats here, okay? And you can do like they did, as they have done, all right? And they have it in a date, and they've chosen to utilize this format, okay? And so you have the date, the day, then the month, and then the year, and they're all separated by a hyphen. Okay. Then you have the follow-up, and have they been followed up or not? Okay. Now there's a set of files over there that are the student files. So let me show you that. You're going to see over here it says Solvent student files. I want to find it here for you for just a moment. And I either have them in here, or I may have them over there in that resources section. Let's go back over here. We'll go to the resources, over to the modules for a second. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I have it for you up in those resources. So we'll click that welcome. Okay. And there's a supplemental website, solve it. And I'm pretty sure I loaded it. I have here it is, the Solve It student files, and all you have to do is download them. It's in a zip file. And those are what you would call the skeleton files. What I'm showing you is a finished product, okay? And then we'll do a little bit of embellishment on this. But the whole thing in case number 1 is to see if you can go in and insert columns, format data, get it organized, get it sorted. It's like I said, it's kind of a baby case, and it really shouldn't be an issue for you whatsoever in terms of having gotten it done. Here's Whistle Cleaners, and notice that we have the font, and it's bold and underlined. Okay, and you see the size of the font, and we see the alignment up here in the toolbar. And then you see that we merged and centered that. Okay. Then we have the company, the first name, the last name, the telephone number, the email address, the date called, and were they followed up or not. All right. Now, there are some things that I would do to make this a little bit better, and I'm going to show you what they are. First of all, I'm going to come over here to a row A and 9. And I'm going to give this some nice fill. I'm going to put in maybe a nice blue, something that looks pretty nice and professional. That kind of sets the table. Remember, we talked about that. We're going to guide the reader's eye. So I'm going to come down here to rows 20 and 21, and I'm going to use that same fill. So we kind of build we kind of frame this, all right? Then I'm going to come here to cell A10, all right? And I'm going to highlight all the way over to G19, okay? And I'm going to come up here to the font, and I'm going to create all borders. And see, that's just a lot more organized. We'll move this over just a little bit. And we see we have a couple of these that don't have an email. Now, I don't want to do that. I'm going to cancel that out. Yes, I want to cancel it. So we have a couple of people that didn't give us an email. Okay, and that's kind of a problem there, but that's okay. Now, This looks nice so far because you have the company, and I would say go ahead and make that font a little bit bigger. And then you have to, and we're going to come down with that, okay? In fact, we're going to use the format painter. I'm going to click on cell A10, click copy, click format painter, and then I'm going to come all the way across, okay? And I'm going to make whistle cleaners, I'll take that up to a 14. And then I'll take that and move this cell up. Again, you know, we're just doing that in business. Make that roll a little higher. Okay, that looks a little bit better, and we'll put we've got borders all around this. Okay, so we're good to go here. So I'm going to just leave this as it is. It looks pretty nice, and we've got and let's go ahead and highlight the data that are in here, and they're at a 10. Let's take them to an 11. See, they look much better now. So, you know, we can see it's a lot prettier, a lot nicer. And you want to see the format? There it is. Okay. Now, we can do some things with these data, and over on page 27, like for example, on page 27 on Taskify, it says improve the appearance of the log. Okay. And anytime they talk about printing this stuff out, don't worry about that. If you want to do that, you can try it, but frankly, over there in the lab, it's kind of problematic. And you can go in and do print preview, set the pages and all that, and and know what you're going to get if you print the thing out. Okay, and so it's not that big of a deal. Now, this worksheet again has, okay, it has basically a title and then its purpose, and then we have some documentation. Who's the author? Any cell ranges that are using are already done, and the date. And if you want to, you could put a date and time stamp like this by putting equal now. Okay. So the authors are wanting you to get familiar with some things like formatting and so forth. And I've got that date on them. If I really want to, I can do a date and time stamp. Okay. And so I'm going to come down here to more number formats, and I can find the date and the time. Okay. And I'm going to choose that one. And then, of course, it tells me. So it says that on the 26th of August at 9:44 p.m., here I am working. You probably are all partying or whatever you're doing. I'll pray for you. I'm teaching in Kenya. But nonetheless, you know, you do some embellishments like this, okay? And then, you know, you save the Excel file to your desktop, okay? And then upload it. And this is XLS file number 1, okay? XLS case number 1, and that's all they wanted you to do is just some formatting and that type of thing, you know. And if you were really concerned, yeah, you can also do this. Let's go ahead and put your cursor on A10, and then let's highlight all the way down to G19. Okay, so we have that area highlighted, and then come over to the sort and filter area and click custom sort, and make sure that on the dialog box, on the sort dialog box, this thing popped up, it has my data has headers. Okay, and then we're going to sort by date called. All right, and we're going to go from the oldest to the newest because we want to find out who, you know, have we followed up enough, and so we'll click OK, and this is there we go, and this tells us right now we've got some problems, and now I'm going to come over to the follow-up column. So this tells us date called, how long has it been since we talked to these people? And then I'm going to come over and in the follow-up, I'm going to use conditional formatting. And so I'm going to highlight this area here. I'm going to start at cell G11 and go down to cell G18. I'll do conditional formatting, and I'm going to use highlight cell rules, okay? And text that contains no, I'm going to have a light red with a dark fill. Okay, you say, what's the big deal? Why would you do this? Well, I know this isn't very impressive with this few records, but if you had 1,000 of these, okay, and you could sort them, and then you can find out, well, it's been a while since we talked to, we called them, has there been a follow-up? Then you got something to work with. So I would, at this point, you know, you can these are the kinds of things I would have done with it. And I would be fine with it if you do this. And this is the answer file again. This is Whistle Cleaners A1, and this file was over in the Files section in Canvas. And this is one that you would want to upload. So I'm going to click Save As. Okay, and I'm going to put it over in my desktop. Whistle Cleaners. I'm going to save it. Okay, and I'm going to close it off. Now I'm going to diminish this for a minute, and it'll go. And boy, you see my desktop, how much stuff I've got going on there. Wow, it's a lot in it. There's Cardinal Buddy, he's up in the Grand Tetons, and there's Whistle Cleaners, and I've worked with this file before, so I might go ahead and you can change this to Whistle Cleaners and then your first and last name, okay? And then go into the modules area. Well, that's where we are. Okay, you could even go into the syllabus area. Okay, and I'm going to put this in student view for just a moment. I'll let you because remember when I'm in instructor view, I'm going to be seeing there will be a lot of stuff I have there that you don't have. And then now I'm ready to upload XLS1, which is due the 31st. Okay, and there it is. Okay, and I'm in here as test student, and I'll click submit assignment. Okay, now I'm going to choose a file. All right, and I'm going to find that Whistle Cleaners. There it is. And if I want, I can add another file. But once I've submitted it, I've submitted it. Okay. And if I want to put some comments in, I believe you can do that. And so you click submit assignment, and you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So something in here is student, test student. All right. Submission turned in. Okay. And there it is. Now I'm going to leave the student view. Okay. I'm out of that now. And I'm going to go to the speed grader here for a moment. And now that I'm in the instructor view, I can do that. And I'm going to see if who's submitted something and who has not, etc. And you see Reagan has submitted something, and then we'll go out to the test student because I'm going to be the test student. Now, listen, if you try this, fine. You've seen how I think one would want to do it. Let me go back to test student there. And there I am. See? Okay, so you can either download Whistle Cleaners A and embellish it a little bit like I have. You could get the skeleton file and do your work on it. And I'll take a look at all of them. I don't think anybody will have any problems, okay? But if you wanted to, you could upload this one. But whatever you do, make sure you get something uploaded so you get the points for the workshop. And I'm gonna close this off for a moment. Okay. And I'm gonna go back over here. You can also upload it in the modules area. Okay, and I'll show you that. Okay, and do this first of all. Let's close this. Welcome with all these resources. And here you see in week 1, you can upload it there. Now you also have XLS 2. Okay. And we just I just made a mistake because I put Athena where I should put. Look, if you do something like put case 1 where case 2 goes or vice versa, that's cool. I'll see it and I'll know it and it'll be all right. But case number 1 is Athena Beauty Products. So let's go back over to the files. I think maybe I did Athena. Yeah, we did. Well, we did Whistle Cleaners. Let me see. Let me check my desktop here. Now Whistle Cleaners, which is case number 1. We're good. How about that? All right. So we need to work on case number 2. Okay, and that is Athena Beauty Products. Now, I want to make sure that I impress upon you something very, very important. I'm going to stop for a minute and talk about this. If you take a look at page 29 in the Solve It textbook, you're going to see figure 3.1. Okay? When you listen to these screencasts, just like when you're in the classroom, you need to have your textbook open and follow along with me. Okay? And it's probably not a bad idea to have a piece of paper along with you to take a couple of notes. Yeah, don't mark up the book. You want to return it, obviously. But there on page 29, you'll see, if you look at that figure 3.1, you see the way that the spreadsheet ought to be organized. And you'll see it has a title area, okay? Then documentation, then some assumptions. You remember when we did XLS3, did Guardian Payroll, it had an assumptions area. Then you have an input and calculations area, okay? And that's where you get the input. And it really should be input and calculations and then your output. Then they have a thing called ranges. Don't worry about that part. We're going to work with a thing later on called the name manager that will let you deal with that kind of issue, okay? So we've worked through case number 1. All right. Case number 2 is Athena Beauty Products. All right. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do a search for Athena Beauty Products. I'm going to do Athena. And there's Athena Beauty. And I'm going to download it. Now, this is what you will want to upload, Athena Beauty. That's the file that you'll want to upload for the credit for the workshop for XLS2, XLSX2. And you'll notice here again, if you look over on page 35, they begin to tell you some stuff about you. Evaluate the effectiveness of an e-commerce company, all right? And then they give you some information about the company there in 35. And then at the bottom of 35, they start to walk you through the kind of analysis that they want done. Notice what's going on, okay? They want, first of all, they tell you that visitors, and they're looking at their website. Visitors are the number of people who visited the website. These are just people who visited. Shoppers are people who reached a page in their website designated as a shopping page. So they've got visitors, then they've got shoppers. And you can see here we've got visitors, we've got shoppers. Now, we've done some things here. See the shading, you know, at the top of the table. This area down here, we can do a little bit of format work right here. And we're going to do that. In fact, I'm just going to, we're going to come down here on the totals. And I'm going to go ahead and make that a gray. And then a bold so that it matches the top so that we frame everything, okay? And now, let's look at this for just a minute. We've got visitors. These are people who showed up, and then we have shoppers, okay? And what they're showing us is the progression of a person who's a visitor, then a shopper, then somebody who becomes an attempted buyer, okay? And then a person who becomes a purchaser, okay? And so they have visitors, shoppers, attempted buyers, so they attempted to buy, and then they have buyers, okay? Then they have source. Now the source is over here, and these are sources. Sources are, you'll see that these are websites that came to Athena that had people come to Athena from them. Now, someone was over here at fashionista.com and came to Athena Beauty Products. And so they're interested in that as well. And they talk about that at the top of page 36. Okay? Now, let's notice some things. First of all, we do some things like we get the total number of visitors. And the skeleton file gives us those data. All right? And we use the sum function. And when we click in the formula bar, you see it goes hot. It tells me the cells that are involved, and it will highlight them. Same thing over here. And the shoppers, and this should be this is C10 22, and now then we say, okay, well, we had 126 visitors, we had 35 shoppers. So now, what percentage of those people who visited actually were shoppers? And I told you that we're going to be doing a lot of analysis with these data, okay? And we want to know. So what we're seeing is someone who's a visitor. They come to your website, then they shop, okay? And this is a person who starts looking around. We have those categories of people defined there in page 35, okay? And this is the progression of, in this case also, it's about marketing and how people make a decision, typically, okay? And then we have the attempted buyers, okay? And attempted buyers, and this is the bottom page 35, are the number of potential buyers referred by ads who reach the website designated as a page for summarizing and paying for purchases. So these people didn't just look around, now we're getting serious. Maybe they put some data in a cart, okay? And so we have them, 16. Then we have the shoppers who converted to attempted buyers. How many of the shoppers, what percentage of our shoppers were attempted buyers? And we get that percentage. Look at that. It's E10. That's the attempted buyers divided by C10, which is number of shoppers. Now, just a minute ago, okay, we looked at C10 divided by B10, and that was the visitors converted to shoppers. So we're saying, okay, we have visitors and then shoppers. What percentage of those visitors turned into shoppers? People looking around the website. And then out of those people, what percentage got serious, okay, and put items into a cart or something like that, and then we get that percentage, okay. Then we get the number of buyers, and so now we go, okay, out of those 16 attempted buyers, 7 of them actually made a purchase, And so we get that percentage, and we click in the formula bar, and we see the 2 cells that go hot. Okay? And then we want to take a figure here and get the total, the percentage of visitors who actually purchased. And notice what we got here, that's G10 divided by B10. So we had 126 visitors, okay? We had 7 people who purchased, okay? And so we have a 6%. Now I'm gonna click on this for a minute and move this out of the way so you can see this. And as is tell you there, note the use of absolute cell addressing, and then we get the total percent of total visitors by source. Look what we've got. So we had 2,300 visitors. You can see that in cell B24, and in cell B10, of those 2,300 visitors, 126 came from Fashionista. And as I mentioned that, notice the use of absolute addressing. B24 uses an absolute cell address. I have a $sign in front of the B, a $sign in front of the 24, so I've pinned it there, and then I have B10, okay? And I can just simply drag and drop and come right down, and it will give me percentage of total visitors by source. Why is this important? Well, I want to know which of these sources, okay, other web pages, search engines, whatever, are driving people to me. In other words, eyeballs that look at my page, look at my products, and make a purchase. Okay, so there's not any big deal at all about that. It's, you know, we just simply do that. Now, I'm gonna take this note and notice what we did again, and I'll stretch it out. Okay. And if you do this percent of total visitors by source, you'll get 100%. Okay, because you account for all of them. This is a percentage issue, okay? And this is G24 divided by B24. Let's go back again. There's G24 is going to be the number of buyers So we had 129 buyers out of 2,309 people who visited our webpage. So this case is about showing me the progression that a person goes through from a visitor to a shopper to an attempted buyer. Maybe they put some stuff in a cart, then a buyer. Well, they walk us through the definitions and never websites. They had referred, so they went to a page, and this is the bottom, page 35. Okay, and then in the top of 36, buyers are the number of buyers referred by ads who actually placed an order from the website. Okay. So they give us some pretty precise definitions of a visitor, a shopper, an attempted buyer, and a buyer. Okay, and that's what this case is about, to show us, to get us acclimated to organizing information. Okay, notice again how I formatted this table. Right, the only thing I didn't do here is I didn't do all. I didn't put in all. I come up here and I didn't put all borders. We're really interested in this. This is called the yield. Okay. And here I give you a couple of notes that help you understand what's going on. Number 2. Okay. And I'm still here, yeah, talking as far as I can see, and this popped up on me for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm still in the meeting. Okay, that's okay. And I'm going to share the screen again. And should be sharing the screen. Should still be there. I hope so. And we're still rolling along here, as far as I can tell. Anyway, folks, that's the whole deal. And that's case number 2. This is Athena Beauty, and that's that case that starts over on page 35 in the Solvent textbook. And this is what you'll also want to upload. Okay, so you'll want to save it to your desktop. Okay, then do the work, then submit it. I've already showed you how to do that. So I'm going to diminish this down for just a second. Okay, and we'll go back over here to that area called the syllabus. Okay, and that's going to show you what's due on the 31st of August. Okay, which is next, 31st of August is next Thursday night. Remember, we meet at 6 o'clock. So by next Thursday night, you want to have the financial ratios quiz. That quiz is drawn from case number 4. Okay. Then you want to have XLS1 uploaded. You want to have XLS2 uploaded. And last week I showed you we did XLS case 3 in class, so you should have it uploaded there as well. And then as we roll week by week, then I'll start posting the grades. Okay. So you again, make sure you get credit for the workshop by uploading the solution file. But if you want to, go into those skeleton files, or even take these solution files and play around with them a little bit, do some work with them. And I'm happy I'm very happy to see you do that. Now, we've got 1 or 2 things left here that we could do with this, okay? And that would be, I could go ahead and we could go ahead and do some sorts and filters with this data, okay? To see who gives us the number, who gives us the highest number of visitors on a percentage basis, okay? And we'll just do that for just a second, okay? And we'll come over here and we'll click on sort and filter. I'm going to do a custom sort, make sure it says my data has headers. In fact, I think I messed this up. I'm going to cancel this for a minute. Put your cursor and we're going to highlight cell A9 all the way over to cell J22. Okay, then we'll go to sort and filter and we'll do the custom sort. And I want to, I want to put these in the percent of visitors who purchased, and that'll be visitors who purchased percent. That'll be the first thing, and then I'm going to add a level, and I'm going to look at percent of total visitors by source. And I'm going to go largest to smallest, and click OK, and it will do that sort for me. And you can see that Saks Fifth Avenue. Now, when we do a sort, and I'm going to go back here and we're going to look at this custom sort for a moment. This first one, this is the first sort. This is what we call the primary sort. So it's going to start with this factor, the visitors who purchased that percentage. Then it will go to the next, and that's the total number of visitors. Okay, so we can see that. Now we're in a position, okay, the Saks Fifth Avenue sacsfifth.org is sending us the highest percentage of visitors who purchase. Okay, but they're not the highest percentage total of visitors by source. Okay, because we started here. All right, but we can use some conditional formatting because we know this is in order. But we're going to come over here. Okay, I'm going to put my CA in J10, and I'm going to do conditional formatting, and I'm going to format this, and I'll use the green, red. Green means really good, yellow not so good, red not so good at all. And you can see we have Models, and Yahoo is sending us some of the highest percentages of people, visitors. Glamour.com, so is Nordstrom. Okay, and we can go ahead and apply the conditional formatting over here as well, because it kind of gives us, we're doing a thermal again, and you can see, if you look at this, it's interesting because you see up here the green, and you see the green down here. So the people who are sending us a high percentage of visitors doesn't necessarily mean that they're purchasers. So we get a better quality lead or person who comes to us from Saks than we do from Models or Yahoo. And you can see that, okay? And you could save this and then upload the file for XLS2. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and I've done Athena Beauty Products, and that's XLS2. We've already done XLS3. That was our first time in class. Okay, and we're done. Okay, now remember, I didn't expect you to produce a Guardian payroll, okay, that's going to look anything like what you got here. All righty. But we've spent about an hour, as I told you, each week we'll spend about an hour and a half in class, right? And then another hour and a half with a follow-up. Okay? Well, folks, thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. And we will stop the share, and then I'm going to stop the share. Okay? And I'm going to stop the recording and end the meeting. Have a good one. I'll see you next Thursday night.